My uncle, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., once said, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase." That faith built America, and that faith can renew her today. The American dream was never about entitlement. It has always been about purpose, responsibility, and the dignity that comes from God. My grandfather, Daddy King, showed us how to rise above hate and stand firm on love. Not a quiet love, but a courageous love anchored in truth. Today, many are told that the dream is gone. Too many feel divided, overlooked, or weighed down by discouragement. But I know in my heart that the dream is not dead. The dream is waiting for us to awaken it together. The dream lives on when our families hold together, supporting one another through every season. The dream lives when faith is not just spoken, but practiced at the dinner table and woven into our daily lives. The dream endures when we work hard, forgive one another freely, and honor life at every stage, from the womb to the tomb and beyond. We are one blood, one human family. When we choose faith over fear, life instead of despair, and unity instead of division, the dream rises again in our hearts and in our nation. Let us teach our children to dream with purpose and hope. Let us honor our elders for the wisdom they have carried through the years. Let us work together to rebuild a beloved community where every life matters and every voice is heard. The American dream is not just a memory. The American dream is a mission. And together, with faith in God and in one another, we will keep the dream alive.
Today, we honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King is one of the most esteemed civil rights activists in our country's history, and he serves as an inspiration for all of us to be advocates of justice and peace. And joining us now is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece and Fox News contributor, Dr. Alveda King. Good morning to you, Dr. King.
Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. What does this day mean to you? He was such a legend. He was a legend to all of us, but to you, he was your uncle.
What we've seen in America, even as far back as Christmas now, and here we are in January celebrating my uncle's birthday, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I believe people are cautiously optimistic about many things and are remembering that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a servant. He loved God and he served humanity. And I think people know that. My friend Pat Boone, I don't know who've heard about Pat, but Pat wrote a song about him. And I have a song too, Let Freedom Ring. And what we're saying is this is a man who wasn't perfect, served a perfect God and tried to help somebody. So that's the way I actually remember my uncle, someone who tried to help somebody.
That's right. That's right. I know the president has honored you with the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. You also serve as the senior advisor on faith and community outreach for the USDA. What will you be doing to honor your uncle? He would have been 97 years old today.
Actually, what I'm doing is always acts of service. I'll be visiting a church, speaking there, and we have books for school children that I'm carrying and going to be delivered to school children. Also, I'm a farmer myself, and we're helping to get some collard greens placed with some people who need some good collard greens. So I'm serving, and I'm asking people to remember to be kind to someone today, to help somebody today. And I believe if my uncle were here, he would agree.
Oh, that's beautiful. What would your uncle say about all the protests we're seeing in Minnesota? We saw individuals, agitators, storming the church yesterday. We saw agitators yelling at ICE, they were there arresting a person who was a child sex offender, and the agitators were were yelling at them for doing that. And the ICE officers were saying, this is a child sex offender. What would your uncle say?
During his lifetime, one of my uncle's favorite scriptures was Acts 17:26, of one blood God made everyone. So I believe he would want us to know that we're just one human race and that we should be kind rather than all of the anarchy and violence. He said we must learn to live together as brothers, and I added sisters, and not perish together as fools. And so the fear, the anger, he had many quotes about faith, taking that first step without even being certain of the staircase. So if we can encourage people to not hate, he said that only love can drive out hate. Only faith can drive out fear. All of those quotes are just flooding back in my memory. And I believe if he were here, he would say, try to be kinder. All of the violence, fear not. And if you're afraid and if you're angry, begin to seek an opportunity to communicate without violence.
And what would you recommend? You said you speak to children. You have books that are directed toward children. How do we teach our children about Dr. Martin Luther King? What would you advise us to say when we go home and we talk to our children who are not in school today?
I remember Dexter King, that's one of Uncle Emil and Aunt Coretta's children, and he did a film many years ago, and the little children asked, was he a kind man? He was a kind man, and if Martin Luther King Jr. were here today, he would love children, love humanity. And I believe if there's one word I can leave today, or two, love and kindness, and let's add one more, forgiveness.
Well, he was a remarkable man, and you're right. None of us is perfect, right? But he loved the Lord, and he served God, and he served our country, and we know where he is now. Thank you so much, Dr. King.
Thank you, Ainsley.
God bless you.
God
All right,
bless.
let's hand it over to